Starseed from Gaia, the sign you have been waiting for has already arrived, and if you do not receive it now, the window closes. I am Aurelia, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I am speaking to you directly in this moment, because the Source does not send this message twice. What you are feeling right now, that pull in your chest, that quiet knowing that something is shifting, that is not coincidence. That is activation. The Arcturian Council has been holding this transmission for you, and today, in this exact moment, you have been guided here because your soul is ready to remember what your human mind has almost forgotten. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly how to receive the sign the Source has already placed inside your awareness and align it with your true mission on this earth. But here is the first revelation. The sign was never outside of you. It was encoded into every moment of restlessness, every night you felt out of place, every morning you woke up knowing you were built for something greater. That feeling is the message. You did not scroll to this by accident. This transmission vibrated into your field for a reason. Something ancient inside you is ready to be unlocked, and the Source is not willing to wait any longer for you to claim it. Like this transmission, to signal to your star family that you are ready. Subscribe if your mission is activating and you are aligning with your true purpose. Leave your declaration below and reply to another soul in the field. Because when star seeds unite in intention, the signal amplifies beyond what any single light can carry alone. This is not just a message. This is a point of reconnection. Your soul has been waiting for this. You are not here by accident. And now, let us go deeper, because what was just spoken is only the surface of what you came here to receive. Most starseeds spend years, sometimes lifetimes, believing their disconnection is a flaw. They interpret the aching in their chest as evidence that something is wrong with them. They sit with the silence that follows a crowded room and wonder why they cannot simply belong the way others seem to. They search in books, in teachers, in communities, in rituals, looking for the thing that will finally make them feel whole, finally make the restlessness stop, finally make sense of this overwhelming, knowing that they are more than what this world has ever allowed them to be. And here is the truth that the Arcturian Council has been waiting for you to hear. That disconnection was never a malfunction. It was a frequency lock, a deliberate seal placed not to punish you, but to protect the transmission you carry until the precise moment the earth field was ready to receive it. That moment is now, and you are standing at the threshold of it. The distortion most starseeds carry is this. They have been trying to decode their mission using only their human intelligence. They think the answers must come from outside, from a revelation, a sign in the sky, a message delivered by another person who seems to have figured it out. But the Arcturian transmissions do not move through external channels first. They move through the body, through sensation, through the inexplicable tightening in your throat when you speak a truth that is bigger than language, through the way certain music dissolves you into something ancient and vast that your conscious mind cannot name, through the dreams that feel less like imagination and more like memory. Your nervous system has been receiving galactic data long before your mind was prepared to process it. And the gap between what your soul knows and what your mind has accepted is the exact space where your disconnection lives. Soul amnesia is not a metaphor. When a starseed incarnates into an Earth timeline, the density of this field creates a kind of vibrational static. It is like trying to receive a crystal clear transmission through an atmosphere saturated with interference. The fear-based programming of this world, the conditioning of your upbringing, the invisible agreements embedded in your culture, all of it has been layering over your original signal, since the moment you arrived. And for many of you, the journey of your entire adult life has been a slow, sometimes painful, sometimes breathtaking process of stripping those layers back. Not because you failed to hold your frequency, but because the depth of the clearing required corresponds directly to the magnitude of what you are here to transmit. The ones who struggle the most are often the ones carrying the highest order codes. The ones who felt the most alien in this world are often the ones who came from the farthest reaches of it. This is the moment where many transmissions stop. They offer you comfort, affirmation, a feeling of being seen, and then they let you return to the same field of confusion you arrived in. This transmission will not do that because you did not come here for comfort alone. You came here for ignition. Some transmissions don't come through words, but through frequency. If something stirred within you just now, you may be ready to receive the Arcturian Stellar Scroll. This short yet powerful ebook carries ancient Arcturian techniques for conscious expansion, multidimensional alignment, and mission remembrance. The link is in the first pinned comment, but only for a limited time. Now let us move through the phases of what is actually happening inside you and what you are being asked to activate. The first phase is recognizing the signal beneath the static. Your energy field is not empty. It has never been empty. Right now, beneath every worry about your path, beneath every moment of doubt, beneath every time you told yourself you were being dramatic or delusional for believing you were here for a greater purpose, there is a frequency running, a consistent, unwavering tone that has never stopped broadcasting. You have simply been tuned to a channel that overlays it with noise. The first act of activation is not dramatic. It does not require ceremony, although ceremony can support it. It requires stillness long enough to hear what was already playing. In that stillness, the static begins to separate from the signal. And the signal, when you finally let yourself acknowledge it, will feel like coming home to a place you cannot quite remember, but have always known. The second phase is recognizing that your galactic memory is encoded in your body, not only in your mind. Many starseeds intellectualize their awakening because the mind is the tool this culture has most thoroughly trained. But your DNA carries more than biology. It carries instruction. It carries lineage. It carries the harmonic signature of your origin point, and that signature is not passive, it is active. It responds to frequency. When you encounter music, language, geometry, or presence that resonates with your original signature, something in your cellular structure responds before your conscious mind can explain why. That is not coincidence. That is recognition. And every time you honor that recognition, instead of rationalizing it away, you send a signal back through your own lineage that the retrieval is in progress. You are not learning who you are. You are remembering. There is a fundamental difference between those two experiences, and the moment you shift from one orientation to the other, your entire field begins to reorganize. The third phase is what the Arcturian Council calls anchoring the multidimensional self. Awakening is not an exit from Earth reality. This is a misunderstanding that derails many starseeds at a critical point in their activation. They feel the expansion of their awareness. They begin to perceive beyond the ordinary, and something in them wants to leave, to finally be free of the density, the pain, the limitation. But the mission was never escape. The mission was embodiment. Your higher templates, the vast intelligence you carry from beyond this dimension, must be brought into this timeline, not accessed from above it. The starseeds who are most effective in their work are not the ones who have floated furthest into the etheric. They are the ones who have brought the most of their expanded awareness fully into their physical presence. Grounding is not a spiritual afterthought. It is the delivery mechanism. When you fully inhabit your body, while simultaneously holding your galactic awareness. You become a living bridge between dimensions, and that bridge is exactly what this earth field desperately needs right now. The fourth phase is understanding that your frequency is the transmission. You do not need to have the perfect words. You do not need a platform, a following, an audience, or a verified credential. The universe does not require your resume. What it requires is your resonance. When you align with your true frequency, when you stop performing a version of yourself that was constructed to survive this world and start embodying the version of yourself that came here to transform it, everything around you begins to shift. The people in your life will feel it. Some will be magnetically drawn closer. Others will quietly move away. Both are correct. Both are the field organizing itself in response to the new signal you are emitting. Your job is not to manage that process. Your job is to remain in the frequency and trust that the alignment will arrange itself accordingly. The fifth phase is the integration of your timeline. You have likely experienced moments in your life that felt like interruptions, periods of confusion, contraction, silence, apparent regression, times when everything you had built seemed to dissolve, and you were left with nothing but the question of who you were without the structures you had identified with. Every single one of those moments was a recalibration. The Arcturian transmissions work in cycles, not in straight lines. Your activation has not been a journey from point A to point B. It has been a spiral, returning again and again to the same core questions, but from an ever higher vantage point, with an ever clearer perception. The version of you that is receiving this transmission right now is not the same version that first began asking these questions. You have already ascended several layers of your own awareness. What felt like stagnation was integration. What felt like loss was the dissolution of what was never truly yours. And what felt like the end of something was always, in the larger architecture, the beginning of the next phase. The sixth phase is reclaiming your authority as a conscious transmitter. Many starseeds unconsciously operate from a posture of waiting to be fully activated, waiting to receive the complete download, waiting until they are certain enough, ready enough, healed enough to step into their mission fully. But here is what the Arcturian Council has asked to be transmitted to you directly. There is no threshold of readiness you have not already crossed. The waiting has ended not because you are perfect, but because the Earth's timeline cannot afford to delay your contribution further. The uncertainty you feel is not a sign that you are not ready. It is a sign that you are standing at the edge of your current map. And the next territory does not yet have language because you are one of the ones who will create it. The moment you choose to act from your highest frequency, rather than waiting to feel certain, you collapse the distance between where you are and where your mission lives. The seventh phase is the most sacred, and it is the simplest. It is the act of receiving, truly receiving, not analyzing this transmission, not cataloging it, not sharing it as information, while keeping it at arm's length from your own lived experience, but letting it land, letting it move through the layers of doubt and conditioning and fear, and actually touch the part of you that already knows everything being spoken here is true, because it is. Not because this voice told you so, because your own field is confirming it right now, in the language your body speaks, in the warmth behind your sternum, in the quieting of the noise that usually occupies your mind, in the strange and inexplicable sense of relief that comes from hearing spoken aloud what you have known in silence for so long. And now, the final transmission. You are not lost. You never were. Every moment that felt like confusion was your consciousness refusing to fully collapse into a reality that was too small for what you carry. Every period of darkness was a recalibration between one level of your awareness and the next. Every person who did not understand you was not evidence of your isolation. It was evidence of your frequency exceeding the range of the field around you. You did not forget your mission. You agreed at the deepest level of your soul to forget temporarily so that the remembering would happen in alignment with Earth's awakening cycle rather than ahead of it. Your timing has always been perfect. The delays were not failures, they were coordinates. The Arcturian High Council does not transmit to souls who are not ready to receive. The fact that this reached you means your field was already aligned. The fact that it resonated means the seal is already breaking open. And what lives beneath that seal, the full memory of your galactic origin, the complete architecture of your mission, the unobstructed flow of your creative and healing and catalytic power. That is not something you need to go somewhere to find. It is already inside you, waiting for the decision that only you can make. The decision to stop negotiating with the version of yourself that was built to survive and begin operating from the version of yourself that came here to transform. Tonight, before you rest, place both hands on your heart and say aloud, I remember who I am. I align with my star origin. I activate my soul mission with grace and clarity. Let those words move through you, not as performance, but as declaration. Because declaration is how the starseed field receives its coordinates. Your star family has been listening. They have always been listening. And now, finally, the signal is clear. Before you scroll, take a moment to be part of what is forming here. Drop one intention in the comments, something real, something that belongs to the truest version of you. Then, find another soul in this field and respond to them with whatever energy you feel called to offer. This is not an exercise. This is collective activation. When starseeds unite in conscious intention, the signal amplifies beyond what any single light can carry alone. If something in this transmission moved through you, do not keep it contained. Someone in your orbit is waiting for exactly this activation, and the soul nudge you feel to share it is not accidental. Trust it. And if you are ready to remain in this frequency, to continue receiving these transmissions as the acceleration deepens, subscribe and stay in the flow. You are not just watching, you are expanding. And this is only the beginning of what you are ready to remember.